everybody, welcome back to the channel. Thanks for stopping by. Today I'm going to be installing a winch onto the 2021 Gladiator Willys Edition. I'm really excited about it, so let's jump in and let me show you what I got. Alright guys, here's the winch. The SuperWinch by Weston SX Series 10,000 pound synthetic winch. It comes with a fair lead and everything that you need to be able to mount this to your bumper. I think the design is massively improved from SuperWinch's other winches. I really like the shelled look. I think the only thing that any winch manufacturer can do to improve upon this kind of a look right here is maybe make more colored shells so that people can customize them a little bit more to their liking. But enough with that. Let's open this box up and show you what's in here. This is the SX Series SuperWinch synthetic rope 10,000 pound winch. They're about to drop a 12,000 pound, or may have based on when you're viewing this video, but the kit comes with a wireless remote, a wired remote, your battery hookup, a fair lead, the mounting bolts, a heavy duty hook, a strap. I mean, everything's included in this kit at half the price of a Warren Zion. I think that with Weston taking over SuperWinch and this redesign and what they've done to these things overall are going to hold up every bit to a Warren Zion winch, and you're going to be paying half the price of what you're going to be paying for a Warren Zion. So take a look at these, give them a solid look, and look at the reviews on these before you purchase one of those Warren Zions. And I'm not against Warren Zions. I mean, obviously they're a great winch. A lot of people use them, but I'm about functionality, price point, and design, not just, you know, oh, I got to go with this because this is what everybody's using. I think a lot of people are going to be switching to these, especially given the price point. So let's go ahead and put this in. I'm going to be putting it onto a Rebel Off-Road Summit Series front bumper. So your bumper may be different, but altogether it's going to be pretty much the same. Finding the mounting positions, bolting it up, running your electrical. It's not a lot to it. So let's go ahead and drop this guy in. Okay, so this is the Rebel Off-Road Summit Series front bumper. They've had this thing powder coated. They have pre-cut your fair lead front, and then as well as your mounting positions based on standard mounts for a winch. I'll be able to reach in here and get to the bottom side of these bolts without removing anything. I just got to get between my skid plate on the bottom right here and then the bumper itself, so no issues there. But again, if you're looking for a front bumper well made and thought out and ready for accessories, the Summit Series front bumper by Rebel Off-Road I think is a great option. And they will drop ship it to you wherever you are at, or you can pick it up in Southern California if you are local to there. So let's go ahead and drop this guy in and show you what we're going to be doing. Okay, we're going to be installing this fair lead right here. The kit comes with mounting hardware for both a rolling fair lead and a standard fair lead. And what this thing does is it keeps these sharper edges away from your synthetic or steel cable itself. The kit comes with the mounting hardware for this fair lead. It's a 6mm or number 6 hex head to it, and then a 17mm nut on the back side. What we'll do is put some blue Loctite onto this bolt and then the washer, and then we'll put a locking washer on the back side with the nut itself, and it'll help hold. Okay, that one's done. Now we drop the winch in and mount it, and then run our electrical. What you're looking at here is the underside of this winch. They've cut some square holes here, and then they've provided you with some square nuts as well as your bolts for mounting. You're going to take a locking washer and then a washer from the underside and then bolt them into place on all 4 corners. Okay, we have to connect the ground negative terminal to this back nut. It's a 13mm. You're going to orient it towards the way that the battery is, because it's going to go up this passenger side of my vehicle. Okay, just make it a little snug so that way there's some movement in it. We don't need it tight yet. And then obviously our power's already, our hot is already connected. So go ahead and drop this guy in. Pull out the lead. Push our cable through. Now we just need to get the nuts into these locations and then the bolts bolted up. Okay, so we got the back 2 bolts on. They were actually pretty easy because the access to there was like super simple. Got this nifty little grab tool that should be able to slide it in there for me. Alright, that one's in. We're gonna do through the fair lead for this one. Slide it in. Oh, that worked out really nicely. So I just used this little grab tool and went through the fair lead and pushed it in. And it was super easy. Even way easier than on top right here. We'll put these final 2 bolts in, run the rest of our electrical, tighten this thing up, and then put on our hook and tighten this thing back down. I'm bringing the power from the winch up this right side of my grill, and I'm going to be bringing it up right through this pocket that's right here. And then I need to loosen up and remove this bolt that's holding on the air intake to get that out of the way and run the wire underneath it. And then the negative side will be over here, and then positive up on the positive side of the battery. But we got to first get this stuff out of the way. We're going to use a 10mm ratchet to take this bolt off. Okay, we'll go ahead and unscrew these air filter screws to remove the air filter. Your air filter will be sitting in here like this. You'll have 5 screws to remove, and then take your filter out, and you'll see these 2 little pressure ends right here. So these 2 little rubber grommets sit into this frame bracket right here, and all you have to do is release your hose clamp and then give it a nice firm pull up. These little grommets that are at the bottom may come off. It's not a big deal. Slide them back on. I lubricated mine because they were starting to dry out already, and that way they have a little bit more life to them. But we'll get that out of the way. We're going to feed the power through on the back side of this bracket that you can see right here, and that the air filter sits into. So we're going to go between the bracket and the inner liner. And this is the power. We'll take our power and under we're going to go underneath this intake right here for your radiator that cools your radiator, as well as over the battery box. And then we'll have just enough room to be able to push it onto the back side of the battery and feed it into this open nut right here. Let's go ahead and feed through the ground. Underneath the intake, underneath our power, and then our ground will be here. We'll need a 12mm ratchet. Okay, so that's nice and clean. We'll connect the negative. You're gonna need a 10mm ratchet for this one. So now we have the ground, the positive, all fed through nice and clean and out of the way. I'm gonna zip tie these together here and keep them up nice and tight so they don't ever slack and droop. I'm not really too worried about the positive, but the ground has a little bit of extra to it. We'll go ahead and put the air filter back in. Our last step will be to connect our hook. So we'll go ahead and pull out this pin. Okay, so it says to press for the wireless remote, it says to press the in and out button simultaneously for a few seconds, and it turns on your remote. So we want to go in to tighten it up. And now our winch is nice and tight Everything functions appropriately. You can disconnect your motor and free spool it out. Wireless remote, wired remote, everything's really nice. That wraps it up. Everything went really smooth. The SuperWinch line of SX winches is already pre-prepped with everything. All you have to do is mount it, run your electrical, put the hook on, and you're done. There's not a lot to these. So don't pay somebody to work on your vehicle if you can do something this simple and have that experience and the pleasure in doing that. And that's what these Jeeps are all about, working on them yourself. That's why I make these videos, to show other people that these are really easy to work on and you can do these things and save that money, and then also have that fun working on your own vehicle and your own build. I mean, that's what we do with these things. So with that said, drop the comments in the comment section below if you have any. Be sure to like, subscribe, and share, and we will see you on the next video.